Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Monday, June 30th, the last day of June. Summer's cruising through already. 4th of July is Friday, so we have a short week. So let's see what's happening now. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? And let's click over and see what that heat map looks like. It is mostly green. Tesla's down a little bit. Nothing too crazy right there. And your SPY is up $2. So it's at 617 and cruising right along. Let the games begin, Luis Rodriguez and everybody else. So let's just get cruising. We'll go through our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, and then we'll see what's going on in the market. Here we go, AMIX. Let's see, that one dipped down. It was running up Friday, and a lot of times these poppers that jump up on a Friday do pull back a Monday morning, but let's check them out anyway. AMIX just pulling back. This GDHG was moving. I did see that thing, and it was cruising. It was in a pretty good spot right there. GDHG, Golden Heaven Group. And there you go, 152 to 174. It's back to 118. So these things move fast, guys. Genius Group, we were looking at that last week. It was running up. A little bit of pullback right here for GNS. So we'll take a look at that. And GVH, we were looking at last night. We were looking at this guy. A lot of people were asking about Globa End Holdings or something like that, whatever it's called. And here we go, curling up out of the basement again. I don't know if it'll curl out, but it should move as it curls up. You can see it's moving this morning. GVH right there. KWE is an aerospace and defense in Canada, and that thing's been running around a lot lately. And there you are. It looks like it was spiking up this morning there. Yes, 682 to 602, 706, 682 to 706. It's at 696. So there you go. For and it changed its stock ticker too. Hold on, because it definitely wasn't that before. KWE, and right, yeah, it definitely changed its stock ticker. When did it do that? Intention to name corporate name, and there you go. So they did change the stock ticker. It was KWE. Now it's DFSC. It looks like. So there you go for that. And let's see LCFY. Locify. This one was jumping up last week, as a matter of fact. Let's see what it's doing this morning. Just trying to bounce around there. It did run up early, nothing too crazy. And here you go for Vero. It did spike up this morning right there, Luis Rodriguez. And we did see that. There you go. It was up 47 cents, and it had run up a little bit higher, 356 to 382. It was running up there on Friday as well, and it is at 267. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if it can bounce back up there this morning. And YJ right here is a China one, and that thing looks like it's blasting off this morning. YJ, let's see. It was running up Friday, ran up some more, and then pulled back 248 to 249. And now it's at 218. So there you go. It's your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you, Asian Jolie, for them. And let's just take a quick look and see what our laptop lowdowns are doing. AEMD. Let's see what AEMD looks like this morning. And that had earnings right there. It looked like it was trying to jump up on the earnings. Oh, yeah. And then it just came dipping down. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, because that one will get set up right there. And ALBT right here, Avalon Globocare. Excuse me, Avalon Globocare. And this one is pulling back to that bottom right there, ALBT. And we'll have to watch that one come down to the bottom right there. GNLN, good old Green Lane right here. And they did just pull off the old reverse split. We were looking at, it was like one for 750. It was like an insane amount. Never see anything like that before. That's pretty wild. But let's keep an eye on it, because you know they love to run after the reverse split. So now it could be getting set up right there for Green Lane. GVH. We looked at HCAI. Here we are with that one. That doesn't look too bad right there. That one was dipped down. Looks like it's trying to curl up a bit this morning right there. And it is a heavy machinery one. You can see that one trying to curl up. So keep an eye on HCAI. And ICU was running around last week. I remember we looked at it like this day, and it popped the very next day. and it's just getting set up. We did talk about it getting set up there, so we'll keep an eye on that one because that is getting set up there to get popping, and at least it'll curl up and run as it curls up. And this JXG right here, let's see what that's doing because that looks like it could be curling up as well. So let's take a look at JXG, JX Lux Venture Group, and look at it pulled way back there trying to take a bounce. It might be just a bottom, so it could be trying to bottom out right there, and we'll have to watch and make sure it does. And Mullen, good old Mullen, way down here. Look at this basement rudder. Holy cow, look at that. From there to there, came out and then went right back in. And look at all the reverse splits. Mullen is one hell of a company right there. It's crazy. OTRK, though. Let's see what On Track is doing. If this is going to be on track to start popping up, it's been on track to dip. And let's see what this is going to do. It looks like it's just kind of hanging out. We'll make sure it's bottomed out first because it could level down a little bit. And RETO, I remember looking at this not long ago, and it was running up there. And if they run up big, they pull back pretty well. And so there, that was back here when it ran up April. Wow, that was a while ago. And that one's dipping into the basement right there. And that's RETO. So one to watch into the basement, see when it wants to come out. RMGS, GS, what was that one? I don't even see that. I'm trying to think what it could be. And SANW, I know that's SNW seed something. And let's see what it's up to. SNW Seed Company. And that's not looking bad to start curling up, as you can see. So it looks like it tried to bottom out there. And let's take a look at TMDE, the energy one. And this one had been pulling back. It ran up. And let's see if it does want to curl off the MACD. And I think they might want to. And same with that RBNE. We'll watch that one as well. The Robin Energy. And see what that wants to do. But yeah, that one's pulling back and it is getting set up. So we'll keep an eye on that guy and make sure we watch that to get set up there. And there you go. And our top gainers, IPDN right there, was cruising along. WeBuy is getting set up. Keep an eye on that. And there's your KWE, which is now DFSC. And Vera right there was popping up a little bit. And there's that PRZO. That's an Israeli one, this aerospace and defense. And let's see, wearable devices just kind of bouncing around right there up a little bit. So a couple other ones right there. So that's what the poppers and the lowdowns look like. Now let's go ahead and take a look and see what our SPY and big caps are up to. How is everybody this morning? Luis Rodriguez and Cadence and Unreal for Real. How are you this morning? And a bunch of other people, Asian Jolie, Laptop Travel, Barber, Doge Mama 9, and everybody else hopping on. So how is everybody this morning? Glad everybody's tuning in, catching the replays and all that. It is a short week. It is up this week. We're going through the SPY right now, see what's happening. It is up 268 and not looking bad. It's just running flat at the top and could do anything. And this is exactly what I was talking about last night. So we definitely have to be careful here. You can see it almost has that top look at it. I mean, it did look like it popped up. We'll be keeping an eye on it, I promise you, and finding whatever wants to set up more or less. Catch a quick popper this week, get set up for next week when it's a full week with 4th of July. Excuse me, on Friday here. So it is a short week, and the market closes at like 1 o'clock, 1:30 or something. 1 o'clock on Thursday, it closes early, so it's even shorter. And options that would expire Friday do expire on Thursday there. So a lot to keep in mind. So let's go ahead, look at the SPY, see what we're looking at right now. Again, it is up, and it's just riding that top right there. It could go either way, so we'll be watching that, keeping an eye on it. Apple, I know, is up right there, looking pretty good. And like I said, Apple is getting set up. It looks pretty nice, so keep an eye on Apple. Amazon has been running up, and it's running up a little bit more right there. And again, hitting the top, they could have some good pullback. We've been talking about that. Doesn't mean some other things won't be running. But Amazon, Mag 7, these guys, they could have some pullback as they're getting set up right here. So that's what we're watching for, especially on this week. Google jumped up over the resistance right there. So watch for Google to try to run a little bit more. And how about Meta right here was up this morning, and it's in the top. So, and Microsoft still running up, just an animal up there. I'm telling you that. Nvidia was up a little bit this morning, not looking too bad. And here is Tesla, and that one's down. But like remember I told you guys, watch for it to try to get down there in the lower threes, and it was all right up here when I was saying it, and it was in what, the 350s, and now we're at 320, and Tesla's getting set up, guys. I'm telling you that right now, something's going on there. And AMC is trying to curl up. I don't think it'll go through, but we talked about it just running up as it curled up. Same with GameStop right there. Similar look. And Chewy right here, CHWY, pulling back some. It is getting set up. Watch that dip. And again, I do think this week will be an interesting week, and you could see them trying to get set up and looking like they want to run, but actually pull back a little bit. This is what I was talking about last night. So that's why we're going to be not as aggressive this week on a short week. Rather play it safe and smart, and make sure we have our cash for if there is a dip and not get caught in it, because I did play it a little aggressive last time that this happened, and I got caught in it. And I said, I'll learn my lesson for that one. I'd rather sit out a week or two and wait for it to pull back, catch them great prices, because that's when you make your money right there. So just something to keep in mind, especially on a short week. So if you don't see me being that aggressive this week, that is why. In the market is it's all the way at the top, and it's a little tough to keep an eye on. Netflix still running up there. It's going to hit this resistance right here at about 1341-ish. So you just want to keep an eye on that. And our semiconductors are still running up here. Remember, I said AVGO had to get up here and to continue to run up, or it was going to take a dip. Well, it listened to me, because it jumped up pretty good this morning. I saw it already, and it was up like $5 right there. So that one's cruising along. MU was moving up a little bit. It's staying in the top. So it is trying to extend it, but again, they're so topped out. TSM, same situation. Look at them in the top. You know, when they're up here, they're coming back down. So you just want to be very cautious this week. I'm going to say it. Luis Rodriguez said same here, and I know Laptop Travel was saying the same thing last night as he chimed in. So I'm telling you guys, if you don't see me being aggressive this week and posting a whole lot, just trust me, it's a good thing. You just can't really tell in a short week with the market closing early. Anything can happen like that. So you just want to be cautious rather than be a little aggressive this week. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, last week was a good week to be aggressive. It was a great week. This week you might want to just kind of sit back and watch the fireworks go off and get ready for the 4th of July. So just giving you guys a quick heads up. So if you don't see us getting crazy this week, just know it was going to be getting crazy, guys. I can already see you have that little bit of pullback. I want to play that right and then catch them bottoms, because the market's going to be ripping towards the second half of the year, and you can just see it already. So take my word for it right there. SMCI just sitting still right there. It is up, but not a whole lot. As it gets set up to try to run up some more, AMD's been running up there, and we were all over that. And QCOM's a good one, guys. That one is setting up. Look at this thing. You're about to get some blast off action on QCOM. So maybe that's the one that just kind of hang tight with right there. Even FedEx was up this morning, and that one, like I said, was looking pretty decent this morning. So you could keep an eye on that. And UPS is up about a little bit too. So they were two that were another two good ones for this week. It looked like INTC still setting up there. Not bad. And PayPal right here. Let's take a look at that. That's getting set up. PayPal might be another one that's going to be a good setup right there going into next week. And again, I don't think this week's going to be the craziest. Some of these ones like Snow and stuff that are already up here and they're keeping that momentum might be the quick plays for this week. Dell right there is still setting up and running into the top. So that's what Luis Rodriguez said, inspector made this week. So yeah, that's he's being a spectator in spectator. So that's what it is this week. I'm telling you guys, you just want to kind of sit back, maybe catch like a Dell on the way up a little bit. And again, you got to be careful on the options as well because they may not run as hard and really hit them option prices. And then on Thursday, Friday, they close on Thursday. So you got to remember that if you're just playing. I'm sure it is a wild week, guys. So you just got to be careful. So that's Dell was way up. Palantir dipped down, was probably a good opportunity. Should bounce up a little bit. Sophie was up looking pretty good. There you go in the top still. And here's Mara, and that is getting set up right there. And so is Riot. And also Clean Spark was already looking pretty good from last week, and it's up. So I'm telling you, crypto's getting ready to rip, and this is what I'm talking about. Crypto's ready to rip. The market's ready to rip. It's just going to have a little pullback. You don't want to get caught in it. You want to be at that bottom when it gets ready to rip because they'll be really ripping, guys, and it'll be easy, easy money right there. Here's Coinbase up a little bit. And again, they're all in the top. Yes, they can bounce up a little higher, but you just have to be careful. And maybe after the 4th of July, we see that little pullback, and that's what we're waiting to look at. We want to catch it the right direction and be able to play it perfectly. And it doesn't matter if it wants to go up, down, or whatever, as long as you're playing it right. And we can always play the SPXS, and that is the bear. Just looking at it, and you can see, guys, it's trying to get ready to curl up. It doesn't necessarily like the basement. These things don't like the basement. It goes in there real quick. So if it dips in there fast, you know it's coming right back out, as you can see in history. And this thing, that's what it does. And it could bounce off. It has that look like it's trying to pull itself up there today. I was looking at it this morning already just to get an idea of what was going on before I started the show. And you can see it's got that bottom look, guys. So that means that the SPY could be topping out for now and come pulling down. And you can see that's hitting the top. And I don't know if it has the momentum to get in there. It already bounced up. So just beware this week. I'm telling you that. And, you know, if I say that, you want to be careful. So, again, if I'm not that aggressive, I may be a spectator with spectator mode with Luis Rodriguez there. So I may not be that aggressive and not play too much. Last week was a good week. And again, I got everything set up. So I'd rather play it smart and safe and be ready to just rock the rest of the year rather than worry about the 4th of July week and get crazy. So that's how I look at it. You guys know I look 3 months down the road all the time, and I had mentioned about 4th of July coming up like that. That was my 3 months. So now we're going to reevaluate and see what's going on. And that's why it's just one of them little periods where it kind of transitions a little bit. So you want to make sure we're catching it the right way exactly. And so that's it. Mountain, this one's setting up. That's why I wanted to look at this morning. This one is going to get set up. It just has a few weeks. And McDonald's is still running up. We knew that was bouncing back up. And IBM not looking bad right there. Disney had jumped up a little bit as well this morning, and Nike had a huge run the other day, and it's in the top and just kind of hanging out. It could stay up there and run some more. Oxy, these guys are getting set up, and that's the other thing. When Oxy starts setting up like this, guys, you got to beware because it looks like it could get all turned around again and something could happen. So that's why I am just being little cautious this week. Your VIX is down right here. And let's see, it had been pulling back. And again, look at it hitting these MACDs. It loves to bounce off when they're over. We know that. So keep it just keep an eye on these things and beware and cautious because they can change like that even when you're not even paying attention. The thing can move and it gets set back up. And again, it's trying to transition to get reset up. So you have a little pullback and then the market's going to rip even higher. And like I told you guys, it was going to go to its all-time highs, and look at it at 617. We blasted right through that 610 like it wasn't even there. So we were on the money, and now you're going to see that pullback. I'm telling you that. So let's see what you guys want to look at and see what's happening here. And CORZ, let's look at it. That was a good one from last week in our Discord. And yeah, look at that thing. Just you want to be locking in profits as it gets up towards that 18 right there. It's in the top, but that was gorgeous right there, CORZ. And then you'll have some pullback as it gets set up there. So there you go, unreal for real. And again, that was a beauty in our Discord. This one is a OTC. I already know that. AIEV is that Thunder something. Thunder Power, that's what it is. And this thing had been running up. Look at it, and it does look like it's curling up, guys. That one looks like it could be a really good one right there. AIEV, maybe one to keep an eye on for this week at 11 cents and trying to run up a little bit higher. I agree, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see about grab. Remember, I was saying you might want to grab some of these the other day, and that's jumped up a little bit, and it probably will try to get up there. You'll have a little bit of pullback, so you can probably catch a better price as it's setting up, but it does look like it's a pretty good setup right there. And that UVXY is creeping down right there, and like I said, it's going to get down there, hit a 17 area. It might not even get to the right down to the line, but it's going to bounce off of there. So that's what it looks like to me. And then the market, and then you'll see that pullback. So again, that's why I'm being a little more cautious right there this week. And it could extend in the next week, but you just can't tell with it being a short holiday week here. The markets close at 1 o'clock on Thursday, close Friday, and it's 4th of July. A lot of the big wigs do take off the entire week, especially always around 4th of July. But especially with a Friday off, they'll have Friday off, Monday off, Thursday off. And they may even have Wednesday and maybe taking the whole week. So that's how it works in the market. And you got to keep that in mind. I always know going into these things, the market with Trump's been a little bit wild, but we've ran it so wild that you're going to see that pullback. And it's better to be careful, especially on a holiday week. So that's why I keep saying it, just to give you guys a good heads up there, because I know I am being a little cautious here. To Google, they are running right up there. You can see it once at 181. It does want to jump up to the top. And Google might be another good one to just have a little momentum play, but it did jump up there. And there you go with Apple. I'm telling you, Apple looking really good. So you can keep an eye on Apple as well. And MRVL, let's look at it. It's up a little bit right there. And I know I wanted to look at these guys, LITM. We talked about this last night, and it does not look bad right there. You couldn't tell last night, but it does look pretty good, I would say. And CYN, was it Barber or Doge Mama 9? One of them two. I always not get confused about the two. I always get confused which ones send in different picks. I don't know why, but I just always do. And they're always good picks. CYN, this one hadn't run up, and we were just seeing what it wanted to do today. It was hard to tell last night with that run up on a Friday and then pulling on the Monday after it, or run up Friday to see if we wanted to run back up after a pull back on Monday. But here you go. It looks like it's trying to make a little base here, and it's slowing down. So it could try to run up. We'd have to still look at that one today and see what it wants to do. How are you, JB? Let's look at ONMD. Should be a good at 50 cents. Run to 60, and let's take a quick look at it and see what we think about it right here. ONMD, One MedNet Corp, and it had run up. You got that little bit of healthy pullback coming in, and you're going to want to look to see it roll off the MACD. Your 20s going up there. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It does look like it bottomed out at 50. Just watching to make sure it doesn't pull back anymore right there, but it should try to curl up as your 20. And again, this week could be a little slower. So you just got to watch some of the volume and things, and then and you could have some pullback. Even if the market is green, you could still see some things pull back a little bit. Mag 7 and big caps could run up. Tesla's down a little bit right now, but that's getting set up. And again, these things are getting set up to really run up there. So you just have to be careful this week. And that's what I keep saying, but I know I'm being very careful. Let's take a look at Lulu right here. I think they're suing Costco or something for like ripping off their one of their I guess their sportswear. I don't remember what the hell it was. I saw the lawsuit thing. I look at that stupid nonsense. Let me see. Where does it say it? I don't even see it on here. To be honest with you, let's see. Yeah, they were definitely suing Costco. Some for something. I forget. I think they're ripping them off. Costco is like selling like something that's similar to them or something like that. I don't know. I was just looking at the lawsuit. Here you go, Lulu right here. That is curling up. We had looked at it, bottomed out right there. It does look good now. Is it going to get through? I mean, we had it running up on the curl up. I don't know if it's going to get. It does look pretty good to try to curl through there. I'm not so sure. The 20's coming down. Interesting on it today. I mean, it is run up there and ran up pretty nice for us. I'd have to look at that one some more, Luis Rodriguez. And Estee Lauder we knew was running up. And again, in the top, be careful if it gets up to this 84 area, you know it's just going to be topping out. It did spike up there the other day on Thursday. What did it get up to? I forget, 83. It didn't quite get to 84. And so, see, it does look like a little healthy pullback, and it's going to try to touch up there, but another one we had mentioned earlier, and it was running up. And HUM, there you go. We nailed that one. I literally said it was going to pull back that day. It pulled back to run up exactly like I said, and that one was perfect, almost like an OCGN right there. And let's see what's going on with Palantir. Again, it is dipped down on Friday. It's trying to bounce back up. I do think it will be a decent bounce. And this DUOL, Duolingo, and this one is running up. I know you mentioned this the other day, Luis Rodriguez, and it's not looking bad right there. KULR, this one's setting up and had recently a reverse split right here. KULR, and not looking bad. There you go. Popped up it. I don't know if it's going to get through. It's hitting that MACD. It's got some resistance, a 20 to 50 resistance there. It's got all kinds of stuff going on, but it is trying to run up. And Geos, we had this one, and that one had run up pretty big, and it looks like it's trying to hold itself in the top to curl up again, so we'll keep an eye and see if it does. But that was a good run up right there. And here we go. And yeah, Luis Rodriguez, we love that you hang out and share ideas. We do have a great crew in here, that's for sure. We do have one of the best communities. And again, the Discord's awesome too. And you guys know we'll be on there hardcore coming up. Again, it might not be that crazy this week with the short week. I totally forgot last week when I was saying it. Getting back from Vegas, but forgot to have I knew it was coming up. I just didn't realize it was this Friday. That fast, 4th of July, popping right around the corner here. And again, the markets do close a little early on Thursday, closed on Friday. Market is up right now. SPY is up. And let's see what our crypto is doing, because crypto has been cruising. And Bitcoin's at 107,816. Solana's at 150. Ethereum's at 2,400 and something, 60 something. Let me see when it comes back up here real quick. There it is, 2,462. Ripple at 218 and Cardano at 56 cents right there. And let's just take a look and see what they look like. They are pulled back a little bit, nothing crazy. And I'm telling you, they're getting ready to rip right here. That's a little healthy pullback right there. You're going to see them run up and pull back as they're getting set up here. And you can see they're getting ready to get set up. Even if they pull back a little bit, not going to be terrible. Solana's already crossed through. Ripple's been looking good. That's crossed through. Doge is looking really good too, and that's crossed through. They're hitting the 20, and they're just getting set up to get ripping up here. You can already see it. Cardano looking really good. They bottomed out already, and they are going to get ready to cruise. So here is Chainlink right here, and not looking bad. What is ETF at? It was at what, 2 million market cap yesterday. Let's see, or last night. Let's see what it's at. I'm not even sure. I didn't see it this morning, but let me look real quick if it comes up. Here it goes. Come on. Deck screener's taking forever. Come on. All right. Well, when it comes up, I'll tell you what it's at. There it goes. And let me see real quick. Hold on. This thing's taking forever. All right. Well, it is taking forever. I'm not sure why. And I swear, I go through charters like crazy. It is at 1.9. Wow, it even dipped even lower. So, yeah, it's in bad shape down there. I ain't going to lie. So that needs to get moving. Zach better start promoting that thing and stop promoting Zach Morris so much. And our ETF is going to be toast down there. So That is what it looks like, 1.9. You don't want it to get any lower than that, or it's going to be in bad shape. So anyway, that's ETF right there. And let's see what else is going on in our market. Let's see what's happening over here real quick and take a look. GVH is cruising along. We were looking at it last night, KLTO, IPDN. And let's see, that one had run up this morning. This HCTI is trying to still set up. Remember, Green Lane did the old reverse split. And this one is, it looks like this one could try to curl off and run up. Just be careful about a reverse split or something there, because that one is at like 2 cents. So we'll have to watch for that one. WeBuy was up, and that NCNA, not bad. Vero had jumped up right there. OST, big dip. Look at that dip. Holy cow. That one might be a good one to keep an eye on, because that's a hell of a dipper. I mean, it dipped down the other day, but it's still coming down a little bit right there. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that OST right there. And GBIO, that one's just kind of setting up a little bit. GDHG we talked about. Let's just see what's on the next page right here. There's that GTI still trying to curl up a little. That circle is still dipping down. And let's see IXHL. That's, I'm telling you, that's trying to get into the right spot right there. So might want to keep an eye on this one. This one's, oh, it's right there, guys. Keep an eye on that IXHL. That one's another good one right there. So I like that look. And let's see what else is going on over here. Let me take a look and see BMNR just kind of curling up right there. I don't know if it'll get through, but it is run up a little bit. GVH at YJ. And let's see the GDHG. That one's dipping down. Vero and a bunch of other ones that nothing grabbing my attention. Just off the, there's your Lion still running up a little bit. And there you go, right? That's what they look like. And let's see what else is happening over here, if anything's trending. BBAI, let's see what the Big Bear is doing. It's still running up there. That was a good call. And like I said, Sophie was getting set up there and was looking good, and that's run up. And what is Lunkin Coffee? That one's over on the OTC markets. I know that. Here we go. LK. NCY, Lunkin Coffee, Luckin Coffee. I always say Luckin Coffee. We were looking at it last week. It's looking pretty good. Keep your eye on that. And Sunrun was trying to get set up, and that's not looking bad. I remember looking at this, and it had bottomed out down here. Good old run. And that is making a little bit of a run right there and getting set up as well. AUPH, let's see what that one is doing. That's jumped up right there. WeBuy, we looked at. Meta's jumped up, that's for sure, like $14. And TEM is down a little bit. Tempest AI. And let's see what else is going on with FSLR right there. First Solar. So Solar looking good. I don't know if they're making a solar announcement, but that's what they look like. And RGC right here is on life support. You're not kidding. That one's coming down even more. Ran up 44,000%. Now it's coming down about 144,000%. So there you go at RGC. And yeah, that's what the market looks like. I'd say we cruised right through that. Crypto setting up a little healthy pullback. SPY's up. Mag 7 looking good. Tesla's just pulling back a little bit as it gets set up. S&P 500 set to extend gains on Trade Talk headway. This stock market is hitting records. 3 reasons why. Top Morgan Stanley strategists see more room to run. I thought the market was all these experts thought the market and the tariffs were so bad, didn't they? Oh man, now it has room to run. Isn't that amazing? Who was the one person that said it was going to all-time highs and said it for a while and never budged on it? There you go. The Euro's big, beautiful moment, whatever that is. Canada scraps digital services tax. That Trump slam, not sure what that's about. And the stock futures rises. S&P 500 looks to add to record high. And again, I'm not sure what the rate issue was. I said that a month ago. You guys know we're always early. We know exactly what's going on all the time on this show, like no other show has ever done it before. We call out everything at least a month in advance. I mean, everything, every major event that goes on or happens, I say it's going to happen a month before it happens, and it's just crazy. And Powell is going to lose his job because he's a moron, and he's playing political games here, and it's crazy because he's screwing the American people. I pointed it out a month ago, and now it's as clear as day. You have everybody saying it, but you guys know who the very first person was saying. I said it on the Small Cap Show, which is at 1 o'clock today. So tune into that. And I said it on there, and I think they thought I was crazy. They also thought I was crazy when I said that one week that I could see in the charts that something was going on with China. And then they announced that, we were doing some good trade deals or something was in the work. And the market went booming that very next week. So I was a week early with that. And again, these charts just don't lie, guys. I just don't make things up out of thin air. I just look at the charts. I get into the zone. I tell you what's going to happen. And we're really going to be getting zoned in and crushing the market, trading them smart, locking in profits, and making accounts grow big. So this week may just be a little bit of a slower week, not as aggressive, because I want to see what's going on here as they're hitting these tops. We can run some momentum ones up, but again, you just have to be careful. And there are some good ones right here, that IEV and IXHL, a couple good ones right there. Some other ones we've looked at. And again, FedEx was moving up right there. UPS not too bad. And Lulu was running up too. And that wasn't looking bad. So there you go. GVH, that wasn't too bad right there. That AUUD we talked about last night. And keep an eye on that. That appears like it's going to continue to set up. And my sizes just pulled back, a little healthy pullback right there. And you know what I forgot to do last night? I hopped off and I never did the Joe Lee's jams. And let's just look at them real quick. There's Agrify just kind of hanging out. Blink is up. Blink has actually been setting up there. Sezzle is on fire. And look at it, still running up there, guys. I mean, that thing's an animal. You know when it's topped out like that, it's coming down. And Sterling right here has been running up. And remember, we said it was going over 2. It's at 232. And that one's been on fire. And another one that will pull back. Rivian trying to get set up. It's just been bouncing around down there. And Symbiotic was up a little bit. So there you go. It's your Joe Lee's jams right there. And that's what they look. And Marty, a.k.a. Martini right there, ADIL. Let's look at it. I know it was run last week. A little healthy pullback right there. We'll look and see if it wants to curl off. It has that look like it's trying to get through. I mean, it's just hitting a wall right there, and you can't even really tell right now, Marty, but I will look at that for you. And that Wolf is looking the same. Wolf doesn't look too bad right there. TerraWolf, WULF. That one does look like it wants to curl up there. The other Wolf did file for bankruptcy and is going down a little bit, but there you go with TerraWolf. And let's see what else is going on here. So, yeah, not too bad. I'll keep an eye on that ADIL. Again, it was running up the other day, and then obviously is pulling back. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one and see what it wants to do. And I think we got to everything right there. Luis Rodriguez said he doesn't trust these analysts. It may be a trap if they think that if I think they're salty, that retail drove. I agree, Luis Rodriguez. I think these analysts are a little salty because they had it completely wrong. Retail traders had it on the money, including us. That's what we do. These guys that are so-called experts and the ones with all the degrees and all this nonsense that don't know shit ever. I point it out all the time. I don't know what these experts are talking about. They're literally like retarded. I have no idea what goes on. Yeah, whatever they say, usually the opposite happens. That's how great of experts they are. And they were all, oh, yeah, the tariffs are bad. This is bad. The economy's going into a recession. And then it just got ripping. And I was like, it's going to its all-time highs. I don't know what these maniacs are talking about. Just because it pulled back didn't mean anything. And they got all worried. And you know why they got worried? Because they're scared traders, and they got worried down here when we got aggressive and ran it up. And now I'm getting worried because it's at the top. These guys are just butthurt, and because they can't play the market the right way. They don't know what the hell they're looking at. And again, the charts just told you everything that was going on for the last few months, including before when the election was going on, after that, everything in between, and we just now it all. So again, I pointed out all the time that these experts have zero clue what they're talking about. And then look at what they say. They say the dumbest things. And we come on this stupid job. I'm just an idiot from a small town that knows how to read charts. And I told you guys that the China deal was happening. I told you everything. The market was going to all-time highs and ripping. And I told you what an election was doing. I told you what that our country was under attack when Trump almost got assassinated there. I mean, every single major thing that goes on, we discuss it beforehand, before the news, before anything even happens. We know it's already happening, and we call it the right way. I mean, shit, the thing happens, and sometimes the news can't even get it right, and the event already happens, and they're already lying to you. So we don't bullshit anything on this show. We just call it the way it's going to happen every single time. And that's why this week I am being very, very cautious. So I'm not being aggressive this week. I think I might just kind of hang out, and maybe we'll catch like I said, some of these momentum ones. Apple's not a bad one to keep an eye on right there. I've been talking about that. It's up this morning. It is getting set up there. And Luis Rodriguez gave us two good ones there. That IEV, that one's over here. And that one looks like it could be a good momentum one right there. So you can keep an eye on that. And FedEx, I'm telling you, it doesn't look bad right there. It was running up, trying to keep that momentum. So I'll keep an eye on that today. It's up a little bit. You do have your resistance. So you just got to make sure we get through that. It could have a little pullback. So there you go, everybody. And that's my and that analysis for the market. I'll be a stock analyst and a so-called expert. I don't have no degrees or anything. I'm just a moron that looks at stock charts. But what am I going to do? We get it right every single time. It's so funny to me. It's kind of bizarre, to be honest with you. And that LITM, I am keeping an eye on that one. We were looking at it last night. It is up a little bit, and that CYN right there is a down. It's dipping down now. It was hard to tell what it was going to do. You're having some pullback, and we'll see if it can stay up there. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a good pre-market review right there. And I guess our expert analysis is on the money. All right. I mean, holy cow. I still can't believe they thought that the tariffs, remember we went through it and I was like, what are they, insane? Like, we need this to happen. No other president had the balls to ever do anything like this. And like I tell you, nobody in the history of the stock market has ever been able to snap their fingers like that and make the market move exactly the way they wanted to. Every single time, the way Trump has done since he's gotten in office the second time. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think we ever will see anything like it. We knew he was going to use the word tariffs to control the market. We knew that ahead of time. We knew everything going on. We even knew that dip was happening and played it perfect. As a matter of fact, we had $10,000 days as it was pulling back there because we knew what was happening, and people were getting scared and selling off, panicking, and we were crushing it coming down on the SPXS and the VIX and all that. And then look at that. It ran right up, and we knew it was happening. We called the bottom out right there, and it ripped up. So there you go. We are going to see some pullback. It is going to be healthy, and the markets are going to be ripping towards the end of the year. This Christmas might be wild. I'm telling you, the end of the year is going to get crazy. And just like we said at the beginning, it's playing out. There's no way he's going to jeopardize these midterms in any way and let that market falter and fall down. The way you win the midterms is you just crush the market. You make it run to all-time highs. Remember, I told you that. And you make the economy spin out of control like people never seen and put money in their pockets. Guess who they're voting for? They're voting for you. And Circle right here. Puts are still a good option. I will agree. I mean, just be careful if it tries to bottom out and crawl. You don't have much data. That's the only thing. We're just looking at candles here. So you do have that one candle, but this one looks like it could be trying to stop. So Central Florida Gardening. And I'll look at this today. I've been watching this thing. It is down another $5. You might have a little pullback, and you might also have a little bounce around here, which is good too. And bounce arounds are where you make your money. So that's the way it works. And they play devil's advocate. You're not kidding, Luis Rodriguez. We just call it the way it's going to happen. Everybody else kind of dances around because they don't have a clue what they're talking about. And they're all so-called experts with all these amazing degrees. They have all these letters after their name, and none of it means a goddamn thing, guys. I tell you that all the time. We come on the show, all you got to do is know how to look at a stock chart, and you know exactly what's going on all the time. It's pretty fascinating. And that's why I've been doing it for over 20 years, because these stock charts, I'll be honest, they have never, ever lied to me. They get manipulated, and I've pointed out when they do get manipulated. But yeah, they've never lied because the money doesn't lie. And that's just the way that has always worked. And you guys know, follow the money trail, you'll always get your answers. Well, here we go. We always have our answers all the time, especially when aerospace and defense sets up the way it did that time. You knew what was going on. I mean, it was clear as day. The money was moving around and they knew exactly what was happening. So it was wild. And then that was the time I knew 100% after that. I was always skeptical. Like, how does the money always know that these events are going to happen after the Trump assassination attempt? And then we knew 100% because, like I said, if you go back and just listen to what I said before that week of the assassination attempt, I called it out every single day that something major was about to go down. And it was only because you could see the money moving around so much. So that is what happens. And that's how we call everything pretty pinpoint accurate. And out of all the Mag 7, Apple has the biggest upside in Luis Rodriguez's opinion. It's the only one that's below the 200 cool average. Yep, I agree. And that's what I'm talking about. The other ones are, like I said, are good momentum plays right now. And that's what you're looking at this week. Honestly, if you're going to trade, be smart, lock in those profits, but catch them momentum plays. And if you want a good setup like Apple and things of that nature, that's what we're looking at going into the next week. But again, that's not, I don't think, a trade. These are good setups. Even like that FedEx is probably a good setup. But you just have to watch out for that resistance. So again, wild week. We'll be keeping our eye on everything just to make sure we know exactly what it's doing. UPS is pulling back a little bit there, and our SPY is still ripping up there this morning. So that's what our market looks like right now, and then that's what we'll end it on. So all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, because I'm just an idiot from a small town that knows how to read stock charts with no expertise. I would say no one's calling me an expert because I don't have stupid letters after my name, because I have zero financial background, guys, but somehow we can call the market perfectly, whether it wants to go up, down, sideways, backwards, do a backflip, doesn't matter. Every event in between, we can do it just by looking at stock charts. So I'll take it any day of the week, and we rip through the market and crush it. This week, like I said, I may just kind of chill. I didn't realize that it was 4th of July so fast after I was coming back from Vegas. I didn't realize it was literally the very next week there. It didn't make sense though, because the calendar, but I thought there was just like, I thought it was the week after. So we do have a short week this week. Thursday, the market will be closing around 1 o'clock. So options that expire on Friday will be expiring around 1 o'clock on Thursday. So beware of that. Markets close Friday for the 4th of July, and we'll check it out and see what's going to happen this week. Our Tesla is looking like it wants to pull back up a little bit. It was down a lot more. And again, watch for it to get down into that lower 3, maybe a little lower, and it's getting set up. So there you go, everybody. I enjoyed our little pre-market review right there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe and like and all that good stuff on YouTube and X. And until tonight, we'll be on at 9 p.m. You know that. I'll be online posting and checking things out. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be on the Discord again. I might not be that aggressive this week, but we will be getting super into it after the 4th of July holiday. I think the market, let it pull back. We'll play that perfectly with our SPXS and some other ones like that. And then the market's going to get ripping, guys. You can see it. It's going to be ripping even higher and higher and higher. And then they're going to have to bring these rates down, and the China deals are going to go through. All this stuff's going to be rolling out. And every time you have that little pullback, which they need it to happen because we're at all-time highs, that's what we're looking for. That's when you see, oh, China deal, this, that. So they're going to have a pullback, and then they have all these things right in their Rolodex to just roll them right out whenever they need to. So it's going to be a popper. I'm telling you, you can see it happening already. The charts are lining up, and I can already see it 3 months down the road, because that's what I've been looking at as we hit the 4th of July spot right here. So I'll keep you guys posted this week as how the charts shape up here going into the holiday weekend. and I will know exactly how it really wants to run. But that's what it looks like it's going to do, a little pullback and then get ripping, and that's why I'm playing it safe. I'd rather sit out 2 weeks and wait for it to pull back, catch all of them at the bottom, because when they start ripping and you have that bottom spot, you just made a ton of money, guys. You can lock in 6 figures in a month like that and do it. Ben did it the other day. I think, well, it was a Friday at a 6-figure day. So yeah, we're going to be rocking and rolling them big days right now. So get ready in the Discord again this week. May not be as aggressive with the holiday week, but coming up after that, we're going to get crazy and really be making accounts grow big. So there you go, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. You guys lock in your profits, trade smart. Goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.